Hello, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to have a wild beer co-beer.
Way back a year ago.
Hello, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Modern Monday, and we're going to be having a wild beer co-beer. Now, I'm filming this in March 23, and in December 22, Wild Beer Co. sort of ceased trading and it was going to go into administration, and Curious Brew in Kent actually saved them, I think it was in January 23, and moved the brewing over to Kent from Somerset. So this beer was bought just before the actual seized the brewing in Somerset. So this is beer that's been brewed in Somerset. But as this video's out, I don't know when this is going to be out, but I think we're going to be a lot further along in the year. Hopefully, Wild Beer is still going. So let's carry on. So Wild Beer Co. They were formed in 2012 in Somerset. The brewery started with a passion for flavour, barrel aging, wild and sour beers, and a love of fermentation. They have forage ingredients. They have their own wild house yeast. They have flavourful. Well, they want to have flavourful, and memorable beers. Now, I've had a few wild beers and I've really enjoyed them. There's one called Nansaki, I think. It's really so complex and so bizarre, but it's a really enjoyable beer. Like I said, Wild Beer, they were saved by Curious Brew in brewery in Kent. The beers that they actually produce previously, hopefully they're still going to be doing them now. They do pales, IPAs, stouts, lagers, sours, barrel-aged projects, and blended beers. Hopefully, because they are now going to be brewed in Kent as this video's out, it may change because of the terroir of the area. So they're in Somerset brewing, and they do the wild fermentations. They do open, fermentations, and that will change the beer because of the wild yeast and everything. So hopefully, now they've moved down to Kent, they're still going to get really good, flavourful and memorable beers. That's what I hope for. Anyway, so what have I got here? I've got their Madness West Coast IPA, and the ABV on this one, if I can see it, is 6.5%, 440ml can. So let's get it in there. So it's a West Coast IPA Madness. Hopefully it won't be hazy, I'm hoping. I hope it to be like a West Coast and not like the East Coast. So let's see. If it's hazy, it's a bit like, it's a bit disappointing because it's not really a West Coast in style for me. But there you go, that's what we're getting so far. And when I'm saying hazy, I'm on about the New England style look. Let's get so far. So just let that settle there. So yeah, it's not New England style because I can see through it, but it has definitely got a haze to it. It's definitely got a haze there, which when I think of West Coast IPAs, I want them to be like slightly, I'd say golden amber, sort of that, so you can tell there's some like caramel or crystal malts used in there. Sometimes it's a bit like, why the hazy? Because some of them I suppose are hazy, but majority of them, when I think of West Coast, I'm thinking of like Sierra Nevada, West Coast, that typical bitter, hoppy caramel notes. But yeah, well, there it is. That's it in the glass. Not much of a head form there, but I'll pour the rest in a minute. So we have got haze. We've got a straw to lemon in colour. It's really light gold in colour. And it's not opaque. It's, like I say, it's got a slight haze. Aroma. It's nice. It's got a nice aroma though. It's not overly... What have we got there? It does feel though like it is pushing more to the East Coast. It's like a mountain IPA. It's a bit of both in that aroma, because there's some sweet fruity notes there, A little bit of citrus. I was expecting big citrus, hot and piney, resiny. On the nose, I'm not getting that. I'm getting more sweet fruit on the nose. Okay, so let's get the rest of the can in. A bit of that. There you go. That head's come together a little bit better now. So there you go. It is definitely got a haze to it, which I would have liked to see it a little bit clearer. Maybe have a hop haze, but I'm banging on now. I'm just going on. Yes, definitely sweet notes of pineapple. It smells like the New England style IPA, unfortunately, rather than the West Coast. Anyway, cheers. Yeah, I'm going to stick with Mountain IPA in flavour as well. It's got a slight piney piffiness. It's not that bitter, as in, it doesn't really, for me, my bitter tolerance is quite high. So it's not really, I'm not picking up on lots of bitterness there. And I'm picking up on some nice sweet malts. I'm not picking up on like any sort of crystal or caramel type notes from the malt. I'm just picking up on from like a sweet, malty breadiness there. And then you're getting the sweet fruits as well. So a bit like the pineapple, strawberry, that sort of stuff. My personal opinion, it just knocks me a little bit because I'm not really expecting that in the West Coast, but you know, it just, that's why I'm saying, to me it's more like a mountain IPA. Because of that, I'm going to give it 2 Bs. If this was really bitter, piney, citrusy, I would have gone 3 Bs, no problem at all. But it's just got to knock it back that one because of that. So it's a good beer. It's nice enough, but I just think it's not quite a West Coast IPA for me, my opinion. Nice body, low carbonation. The mouthfeel is like quite creamy. Again, that reminds me of New England. It's a little bit drying. The alcohol is well hidden. That is a fact. There's none of that 6.5%. There's none of that there whatsoever. And it's very drinkable. And then it becomes dry and you want to go back in and drink it. But yeah, just from a West Coast IPA point, it's like, it's not quite hit it for me. But that's my opinion. Yours will be totally different, honestly. It's a good beer. Okay, I think that's enough of me going on about it. Let's have a read of the can. Why don't you read the can, Rob, instead of just going straight off? So, Adventures in IPA, hops. Our original West Coast IPA, revisited, reimagined with our favourite hops of the moment. Sorry about my phone. Favourite hops of the moment. Wonder what they are. I wonder if they're more of the hops you find in New England. I mean, I think it's sea hops in the West Coast. Bursting with citrus and grapefruit. Flavours and aromas and unapologetic bitterness. So I'm not getting any. I'm just not getting any of that. I'm not getting them flavours. I'm getting a piffiness, which probably, that is citrus and grapefruit. But there's also this overwhelming fruit sweetness that's coming through as well. Wildbeerco.com. Discover flavour by nature. And there's nothing else really to say on there. Apart from now like I say, it's in Kent. Curious Brewing are now taking over. So that's the madness from Wild Beer Co. Okay, thanks for watching. Cheers, and I'll see you on the next one.
I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating.